What's up? I'm finally gonna watch that interview, EDP's ex-girlfriend, and I'm mistaken. I thought it was Cole Raven, or I thought it was Master at Work. I apologize for thinking it was those guys, because I thought it was Master at Work or Cole Raven was the one that interviewed EDP's ex-girlfriend, but I was wrong. But hey, shit happens. We all humans. So I found this video of Chat interviewing EDP's ex-girlfriend. This was 2 years ago. I remember watching it, but I only watched it like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. But it's like a 40-minute something video. And I'm going to listen to it real quick. I'm going to stop and pause. You guys know. But anyway, let me get on with this video.
Hello?
Hi, how's it going?
It's going.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say, you're probably going through a lot right now, emotionally. And, it's a heavy situation for obviously not only you, but, a lot of people that, that liked him as, I watched him growing up, man. Like me and my friend Keyshawn in fucking high school, loved the guy, you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of emotions for a lot of people seeing this happening and shit.
So I guess Chat's been a fan of EDP. Wow. He's been a fan of you this whole time, EDP. And I know he feels really good. You could just kind of tell in his voice that he's glad that he busted EDP, which he did the right thing by busting him, calling him out on his bullshit. But could you imagine being that person that you grew up on, and then you actually being the one that ruins your favorite YouTuber's career? Could you imagine being in that position? If Chat wasn't so racist, if had he not said that racist remarks, man, I would have said this guy deserves a reward. But he fucked up. He started being all racist and stuff like that, and it definitely hurt his credibility on putting EDP down. Yes, people are glad that he exposed EDP, but it definitely hurt his credibility a lot. And I don't think he realized that. You know what I'm saying? It definitely hurt his credibility. But yeah, he's been a fan of you for a minute, EDP. You know what I'm saying? And I know he feels real good. 2 years ago when he busted you, I know he felt real good doing that to you. Anyway, let's go on.
A lot of emotions for a lot of people seeing this happening and shit. So anyway, I want to thank you for coming on.
At the same time, it's not okay to be happening. So
Right. The only person that caused all this was himself, obviously. So, it's nobody else's fault but his. So, yeah. But, I appreciate you for coming on, and so I don't know, I don't really have any questions prepared. It's kind of on a whim. I just thought it would be interesting to share your side of it, just knowing him and shit. So yeah, but anyway, so you were Brian's, I guess you were Brian's girlfriend at one point.
Yeah, we dated for 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
It is
5 months? Wait a minute, EDP, I knew you had a girlfriend, but y'all two only dated for 5 months? It's no wonder. I thought EDP dated. I thought these two been dating for at least a couple of years, but 5 months? 5 months? God damn. No wonder.
the longest relationship he's had.
Really?
I was his first girlfriend.
His first girlfriend. EDP's first girlfriend. All right.
So were you the girlfriend that he put on? Were you the girlfriend that he because I remember this probably from high school, where he had you on his videos, but you weren't on his videos. You were to the side, just in the background and shit.
That was me.
Oh.
He'd do Q&As and stuff, and I'd sit next to him and talk, but I wouldn't let him show me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's I remember that.
Because I'm a teacher, and I was always worried that, like, as a teacher, my reputation in the community dictates whether or not they trust me around children. And I didn't want the parents of my students to see his videos and know I was connected and question whether or not they trusted me with their children.
Right.
Totally understandable. I totally get why she kind of want to be in the background. Yeah, that is totally understandable because, you know, like she said, you know, if you're a school teacher, you know, you really got to worry about your reputation. And, you know, kids on social media are not stupid. You know, kids can easily like find you and know who you are. So yeah, her job and everything was really on the line. So that's totally understandable right there though. But I don't understand why she have an issue with that. Like, I mean, I wouldn't want to be in EDP's videos, but I see a lot of school teachers have Facebook pages. You know what I'm saying? A lot of teachers kind of like risk it, but I guess she's one of them teachers that, hey, you know, I can't be in a guy like EDP video, you know, the guy who sit there and takes a shit in video, take a shit and just do a lot of foul and disgusting things. I mean, yeah, I totally understand why she really didn't want to be part of his video because it's embarrassing. Could you imagine kids in school or the principals and other teachers they just all eyeballing her, laughing at her? Hey, I see your video with EDP. You know, say you don't want to hear all that stuff at your job. You really don't. You know what I'm saying? It'd have been the other way around. You know, if I had a woman, if I had a girlfriend that was a YouTuber, like a big YouTuber like EDP, and she was doing a lot of foul and disgusting things in her videos, I mean, I don't think I would want to be part of that either. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I don't want to be part of that. I don't want people. It's not that I'm embarrassed of you. It's just the fact that I don't want people walking up and questioning me and asking you about your videos when I don't want to be part of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, in a way, it's almost sound like she's embarrassed of you, EDP. It's almost like she doesn't want to be part of your videos because you're an embarrassment. And rightfully so. You are an embarrassment. Even though you're just being a YouTuber, it's embarrassing. So you definitely are an embarrassment. Let's go on.
When I started dating him, I didn't even know he had YouTube.
So how did you originally meet the guy?
We met online on a dating site.
Was he like on Tinder or like what was it?
I want to say it was Bumble.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we kind of just both liked each other. I liked his smile. And we started talking. We both go to the same gym. We were both trying to lose weight. It seemed like we had a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we went out on a couple dates, and he asked me to be his girlfriend. And it wasn't probably till like a month and a half, 2 months into the relationship that I even realized we had a YouTube channel. Like at one point he made a comment of, "Have you seen my YouTube channel yet?" And I kind of laughed it off because everybody has a YouTube channel and thinks they're a YouTuber.
Uh-huh.
And I never looked into it. So I really had no clue the stuff he was posting when I started dating him.
Got you.
Well, that's why I say about, well, you just heard what she said. She said they met each other on a dating app called Rumble, whatever the hell she just said. But, you know, it both fall on you both. It's both of y'all's fault because you say you did. The ex-girlfriend of EDP saying that she didn't know EDP had a channel. Well, that's your fault. This is why I say when you get in a relationship with people, before you decide to go meet up with each other, always be honest with each other. Always lay all your cards on the table. So clearly, you know, she's saying that these two had been dating for 5 months. So clearly, these two rushed into the relationship. These two didn't really sit there and talk about the things that they do. Like, I'm sure she probably told EDP, like, yeah, I'm a school teacher. And, you know, EDP probably left the YouTube shit out, though. But this is why I say before you get into a relationship with people, it's always best to lay all your cards on the table. Do not rush into a relationship. So clearly, this right here looked like these both just rushed into the relationship. They probably only know each other for a couple of months, and then they just decided to go meet up with each other. Instead of talking and communicating with each other more, because I would have been straight up honest. You know, if I was a big YouTuber like EDP and I had a crush on a woman on the internet, I would literally tell her, like, hey, I'm a YouTuber. just to see what she said before we meet up. So it seems to me she said she didn't know, but when she found out about it, that's when she had second thoughts. She and her parents kind of like having second thoughts, like, nah, you really shouldn't be with a guy like that. Nah. But had EDP told her from the beginning and been honest with her before they met up, your heart wouldn't have been broken, EDP. But y'all sat there and wait till y'all met up, and then you sat there and told her, though, when you should have told her from the beginning. This is why I try to tell people, do not rush into relationships. Take the time to get to know each other. Start off as friends first. That's what people don't understand. A lot of people don't want to start off as friends. Start off as friends first. Get to know a person. Hell, when I met my girl, I told her from the very beginning that I'm a YouTuber. I didn't wait till the last minute and tell her that, hey, babe, I'm a YouTuber now. No, I told her that from the very beginning. Like, hey, I'm a YouTuber. My channel's name, My Opinion 333. And I told her that just to see would she accept me for who I am. And when my woman saw my YouTube video before we hooked up, because we started off as friends, I told her I was a YouTuber from the very beginning before we hooked up. And when she saw my YouTube videos, she told me she actually liked my videos. She liked some of the content that I was putting out. And I knew right there and then that she accepted me for who I am. She didn't care if I was a YouTuber or not. That's what EDP should have done before y'all hooked up. You should have told this woman that I'm a YouTuber just to see will she'll accept you. Just to see if she accepts you or not. But had you told her from the beginning and saying like, hey, I'm a YouTuber, maybe she probably would have told you then like, well, I can't date you because, you're a YouTuber and I'm a teacher, Y'all two would have been better off as friends, to be honest. Those two were just better off just being friends because it was just like another rushed in relationship. That's all it looks to me.
Got you. So what was your initial reaction? And he's a pretty funny guy, but what was your initial reaction when you found out about his YouTube channel?
It was mixed reactions. Like, he's a funny guy. He wasn't like that with me at all in person.
Right.
So I can easily see that he's one way on YouTube and a different way in person. Like, that was something I caught right away, and I get that. And that's one of the things he always bashed me for afterwards. She doesn't understand. But that was like initial reaction right there. But then it was holy crap, if I'm connected to this, how does that affect my career?
Right.
See what I'm saying? You two rushed into the relationship, but didn't take the time to have enough conversation. Y'all just rushed into the fucking relationship. So like I said, it's both of y'all's fault because you two rushed into the relationship. And this is the results you get by finding out what you didn't want to expect last.
Jeez.
But then my very next thought was, I don't want to be someone who's so shallow that I break up with him just because I don't like his YouTube channel. So I need to give this some effort and see where it goes.
So he wasn't really like keeping it real with them MFers because it was just a totally different personality on camera than off camera.
Yeah, that was kind of a hard thing for me because everybody's like, he's the realest guy I ever know, blah, blah, blah. And he was totally different in person. So, and then he talks about like, this is how I am, this is the way I am everywhere, blah, blah, blah. And then in talking to me or the video that he posted about me after we broke up, he was like, you have to realize there's a difference between a YouTube personality and me in real life. Well, which one are you? Right. So
how was...
She's talking about that video that he made about her in 2019, the video that y'all saw me do with him exposing his ex-girlfriend about her parents telling her that you should break up with this guy. It's like what I said in that video. You see how karma comes back and bites you in the ass? You made that video back in 2019, EDP. In 2019, you made that video putting her on blast. Now, a few years later, she's putting your ass on blast now. Well, kind of putting you on blast. She's pretty much saying good things about you so far in this interview. But like I tell people, karma is real. Karma is real.
How was like y'all's relationship and all that? When did it? How was it at first, and when did it start going wrong?
Honestly, of all the people I've dated, he probably treated me the best. I'm not going to lie.
He treated you the best.
But, yeah, he treated me well. He was nice to me. He was caring. He treated me well. We spent time together. Like, it was just eventually, it really came down to the direction his life was going and the direction my life was going were not going the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And my career was going to be at jeopardy if this went any farther. And I could not see my future with him.
Right.
I had no hard feelings towards him. Like, I just could not see this as my future. And I knew if I went on any longer like that, that it would hurt both of us more. So I stopped it right there. But I had absolutely nothing bad to say about him till after we broke up.
Yeah, because after we broke up, you showed me that video of him, like, you know what I mean? She's a, blah blah, her parents or this that. So why do you think he said all those things?
Because he was hurting, and he didn't know how else to deal with it. Like, I broke his heart. I know I did, and it breaks my heart to know that. But it would have been worse if I kept it going longer. I don't understand some of that. Like, my parents are the most judgmental people he has ever met. But he kept asking to come over to my house. He wanted to be at my sister's wedding. Why, like, if my family is the most judgmental people he's ever met, why did he ask to come over? Why did he want to be at my sister's wedding? I don't understand that.
Well, he asked to go to your sister's wedding. It's almost like she's ashamed of him. She's sitting there saying that she loved him and this and that. She had feelings for him. And he volunteered to come to your sister's wedding. I don't know. It sounds like EDP's ex-girlfriend was embarrassed of him because maybe his weight. I guess she was embarrassed of him because he's a big overweight guy. And I guess that she's ashamed that her family might look at EDP and saying, why are you dating this big, fat, overweight guy? Because she doesn't sound like she's white. She sounds like she's Hispanic, though, if I'm not mistaken. Because if EDP's ex-girlfriend is an Hispanic woman, like Mexican or whatever like that, then it's no wonder why she probably didn't want you over there because her, cause who you think she's going to listen to? Who you think she's going to listen to? Because, she's going to listen to her family. Hey, you don't need to be dating this black man, especially the Mexican or, Mexican family that you're in, because you're Mexican. So what do you expect a Mexican, what do you think the Mexican family is going to say about you, EDP? Her family going to be in her ears and be like, no, you shouldn't be dating this big overweight black guy. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be dating this punto or whatever like that. Punta, whatever like that. That's all that was. She was embarrassed of you because you was a big fat overweight guy, and she's afraid that you might embarrass her. That's all that was, man. Cause it sounded like she was ashamed of him, embarrassed of him. That's what it sounds like.
I don't understand that.
Right.
So,
right.
But honestly, when that whole video came out, where he just spent it's a little over 18 minutes bashing me and my family. We had been broken up for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
We had only dated for 5. And so we'd been broken up for 4 months. And at that point, I knew he was in pain. And it wasn't worth it. And nobody knew who I was. So it wasn't a big deal to me. Like, it hurt to see. And the people around me that knew me and knew him were really, really upset. And I just had to calm them all down and say it really wasn't worth it. But a lot of what he says contradicts himself. A lot of what he says, he twists and turns to make it look like I'm a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
It was shocking because that wasn't the character of the guy I knew.
Right. Like I guess I could kind of see that he got kind of selfish. Like, it was a combination of people, doing the texting and the calling with him. Obviously, I didn't do the calling. I did a little bit of the texting, but, I was logged into the account that we were texting him on. And, what people don't know is he blocked us 7 times he blocked us 7 times. And, he's just very, like you said, contradicting. Like, one day he blocks us, the next day he unblocks us and wants, like, he's just all over the place with his emotions. Like, one day he sends us a video of him, doing, I want to keep it YouTube friendly, doing the back and forth with your hand on the what, and yeah, right, that thing.
I never got anything like that.
Yeah, I'm actually very happy for you. Right, I'm glad you didn't get anything like that, because it's definitely scarring for sure, and I'm glad you didn't have to go through that stress that we went through. But
I teach junior high. I teach 13-year-olds. I don't know how I would help put a girl back together after seeing that. I don't.
Right. Like,
those are the kids I work with every day.
Yeah. It's really weird. Like,
yeah. But honestly, he is super confused. I don't think he even fully knows who he is outside of the persona he's built on this YouTube channel.
No, I don't think so either. Like, he would send us a video like that, just horrible video, and then, an hour later he'd say, Sophie, I can't do this anymore, you know what I mean? And block us, and then next thing you know, the next morning, he's like, I'm sorry, here I am again, you know what I mean? Like, something to that extent, and he would just go back and forth blocking us, and, the day of that we were flying to LA to go get him, and then, drove to Bakersfield, I woke up in the morning, and he was, the whole day yesterday, he was talking about how, I can't wait to see you, it's going to be great, blah, 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 blah. And then I wake up, and he blocked us in the morning. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And then, he ends up unblocking us and showing up, Like, but the thing is, yeah, he's so unpredictable. But the thing is, like you saw in the video, the thing stopping him wasn't, a middle schooler. Like, he's like, what the frick am I doing with a middle schooler? The thing stopping him was he was so scared of what happened to him, like, just now, like, with the whole reputation and shit.
And that's like the one thing that like made me one of the many things that kind of made me want to talk to you guys, because like the Bryant that I knew was a kind-hearted person, and if he cared about you, he would do anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand this side. I didn't see this side. I don't understand this side as much. I do like there was one point, and I'm trying to remember exactly what, but there was a turning point when he got mad and blew up. And if you watch his YouTube videos, when he gets a temper, he goes off.
Right.
There was one point that he went off on me, and it was all in a text. And I was down in LA with my nieces and nephews, taking them school shopping. And I had told him for weeks that I was going to do this. And he thought that day that me and him had plans, even though I've been telling him for weeks. And he blew up in text message because I wasn't answering him as I'm driving home or whatever I was doing. And I was like, that's the YouTube side. And I didn't ever want to see it.
Gee.
Damn. You blew up on her and everything like that, EDP? Good gracious, man. See how she's putting you on blast? Again, she's putting you on blast now. And as far as Chad talking about you getting caught as a pedophile, she said she's never really seen that side of you. I don't know, man. I can kind of see why this woman didn't really want to have nothing to do with you, EDP. I can kind of see that. Like I said, if you wasn't so big and overweight, she probably would have held on to you though. But I still think she was ashamed of you. She was embarrassed of you, and she didn't want to bring you around her family because she was embarrassed of you.
Yeah, I've seen messages that he's had to underage kids where he's like, if anybody finds out about, and he even texted that to our decoy. He's like, if anybody finds out about this, it's going to be bad. Like, he threatens, like, if something doesn't go his way, he turns really, just, I don't know how to put it like that.
Okay. I hate to say it this way, but I'm going to be downright honest in my feelings in this.
Mm-hmm.
He talks a good talk, I had no doubt in my mind that I could take him. He is not that strong. He is not a fighter. Like, it scares me now that he has the guns because he didn't have any of that when I was there. But, like, I was never really worried about that because I 100% feel if he came at me, I could take him down.
Oh, damn. Y'all heard that shit? She said he's not that strong. Damn, EDP. Damn, cuz. She said she could even whoop your ass. Oh, shit.
Yeah, there was always those super fat people on the football field. Like, you know, there's big fat and there's just fat like he is. And yeah, I always figured in my experience, they were always the easiest ones to put on their butt too. But yeah, like
we laughed. One of those Q&As that we did back in the day, one of those Q&As that we did together, I was laughing because they always asked me, did you play football in high school? Did you play football in high school? I played more football than he did. So that made me laugh.
Damn, she played more football than he did. Damn, EDP. I told you, man. She don't want a weakling like you do. You use a weakling. What woman out there want a lazy weakling slob like EDP?
But yeah, like he talks all tough, but I don't think he'd be able to fight. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean,
come on now, man. We know EDP ain't got no hands. That's why you think he got all them guns. EDP is a pussy with a gun, which is nothing wrong with having a gun protecting yourself. So, no, man. But you can kind of see what she's saying. She said she don't even think he knows how to fight. And you know, a woman wants a strong man. Us grown men, we know women's out there, they want a strong man. They don't want no weak ass man. You know what I'm saying? They want a man that could fight and could protect them. You know what I'm saying? EDP doesn't fulfill that at all in her shoes. You know, because a woman wants a strong man. She don't want no weakling. And EDP, you don't fulfill that. And that's the reality of that, EDP. You don't measure up to her.
I was never worried about my safety or anything because I just knew that if something went down, I could take him down.
Oh my God.
She said it comes down to it, she can take him down.
Jesus. So has he ever...
And I didn't have to worry about that at all because he treated me well. In the end, it was just like I saw where his life was going and it wasn't in the same lines as mine, and it couldn't be a future. Like it wasn't going to gel. And I tried to explain that to him in a couple different ways, and he did not understand what I was saying.
Right.
So like he even says in the video where he's like going off on me that I need to have a backbone and I need to go and I need to tell people this is my boyfriend and this is what he does and you need to get used to it. Well, that came from, I was talking to him about like, I have to be careful. I don't want people to know that I'm dating you because what you post on YouTube will affect my job. If one parent sees it, first of all, it's probably going to go through the whole school. Parents are going to call my principal, and then he's going to have to deal with that. So he's not going to be happy with me, which makes my job harder. It's going to get to the district office. My superintendent is going to know, and that affects my job. And my job has been my career for 10 years before I met him. Like,
she's a smart woman. Very smart. See, she's got a lot of common sense. She may be a school teacher, but she's got a lot of common sense and smart. She's right. What if somebody in the school recognized that? You know, as a school teacher, once again, you got to be super careful because your reputation is on the line. So yeah, if you've been a teacher for 10 years, I would not throw that away either. But you know, EDP doesn't seem to understand that. He doesn't understand that. You know, my girl, she'll, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just put her in my videos. You know, if she volunteers and say, hey, babe, I want to be in your videos, I put her in my videos. If she's comfortable, if my woman is comfortable showing her face in my videos, I'll show her face. But if she doesn't, I leave it like that. Because, you know, I don't want to see my girlfriend get fired over some shit I done on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want that for her. And she wouldn't want that for me. So you gotta respect a woman's space. You know, you might be a big YouTuber and everything like that. Well, you was a big YouTuber, but at the same time, you got to respect your woman's space. Respect her space. If that's what she requested and she says she doesn't want to be part of that YouTube shit, then as a boyfriend, you have to respect that request. And y'all only been dating for about 4 or 5 months, EDP, so I could kind of tell that she wasn't all that comfortable with you. I could kind of tell. You both rushed into the relationship, but I could kind of tell that EDP got way too comfortable with her. You got way too comfortable with her, EDP. Way too comfortable with this woman. You got comfortable with somebody that didn't really have that kind of love for you. Like, yeah, you probably loved her, but she probably didn't love you the same way as you loved her. That's what it seems like to me. It's almost like she's saying that, yeah, I know that EDP loved me, but I didn't love him. I didn't feel the same way about him. And there's a lot of women there's some women that are like that. You can love a woman as much as you want to, but sometimes that woman might not love you as much as you love her, especially if she don't show it. I can tell if a woman doesn't love me the way I love her, just the way how she reacts. You know, you got to pay attention to that shit. You know, there's nothing wrong being nice to a woman. There's nothing wrong being nice and good to your woman. But you know what they say? You know, nice guys finish last. And you're one of them nice guys, EDP, and you definitely finished last in her book and probably other women's book too. So, you know, that was probably your first girlfriend, EDP, but you didn't really check to see how she truly act. Like, well, fuck, man, I love this woman a lot more. I love her a lot, but do she love me the same way like I love her? You didn't peep that. You didn't peep that at all.
Yeah, my job is my passion and it's my lot in life. I know that, and I would rather be single than give up my job because I know that God has me there for a reason. Mm-hmm. And so I was trying to explain that to him, and he's like, well, why don't we just make an appointment with your district superintendent and just sit down and say, hey, this is my boyfriend, this is what he does on YouTube, and that's not going to like it. And I was like, he has no sense of reality. That's not going to fly. No.
EDP, now why would she be stupid enough to tell the people at the job that, oh, my boyfriend's name is EDP and he makes nasty and disgusting videos? Is that even fucking necessary to even ask your girlfriend that? You know, that would be like me asking my girlfriend, hey, babe, can you tell your boss that I'm Jug Truth and I make YouTube videos and stuff like that? You know, just let them know that we're together. For what? I see why this woman broke up with you, bro. You got no common sense, bro. You got no common sense whatsoever, EDP. You got to be the dumbest boyfriend that she probably ever been with. Even though she said that, you know, you treated her way better than all the other guys that you've been with. But at the same time, bro, she's probably thinking that you got to be one of the dumbest guys that she's ever dated in her freaking life.
That's the reality. That's not going to fly. No. And he got mad that I wouldn't set that up. That's like the whole, she's fine that she wouldn't talk to people. But like, that's the kind of stuff that's going to get me fired, not make things better.
Right. I mean, I'm sorry it didn't work out. Well, I mean, I guess it's better it didn't work out because he was the way he is.
I'm not sorry.
Oh yeah. I mean, did you have any inkling that he was the way he was when it came to underage kids?
No clue, because he has a tendency to bring me up on videos and in places where it doesn't need to happen. And I told you earlier, like, I even had to file a police report, which they didn't follow up on and they didn't do anything. But so I kind of keep an eye, and people that know me kind of keep an eye on this stuff just in case I come up again, because it's happened I mean, it's been almost 2 years since we broke up, and it's happened like 4 or 5 times. So the first time I even got an inkling of this at all was when Cold Raven started pulling stuff out and saying stuff. And I'm like, holy crap. And my initial thought, and I know a lot of his followers thought this too, my initial thought was just like, okay, he doesn't really get it. Like, I didn't see him as a malicious person, but I also saw him as someone who doesn't really comprehend things very well.
I see.
And so I'm like, he doesn't realize how much trouble he's getting himself into. He doesn't realize what he's doing. But after that all went down and he continued, at that point he realizes, and he even mentioned it in stuff with you guys, the whole like, I don't want to get in trouble, don't go to the cops, don't be screen recording this. Like, he knew. But when it initially came out at first, like, I was just glad that I wasn't part of it, partially. And then the other part of me was like, I don't think he gets what he's doing. I don't think he gets how bad it is.
He doesn't get, because 2 years, 2 years, people did to this day. He's not sorry for what he's did. You know, he's not sorry for what he's did. And, you know, he doesn't get it until, like what she said, until it happens to him. Because at that moment, when he was begging, chatting them, oh, no, please don't call the cops, he knew he fucked up. So, yeah, she's got a good point there, though. But I'm going to go ahead and end it right here, though. That's pretty much all I'm going to say right there. Because, yeah. It seems like she was embarrassed of you. It's like what I said. It seems like your ex-girlfriend, EDP, it seems like this woman was just embarrassed of you. I mean, you shitted on that woman back in 2019. And she didn't really shit on you this much in this video. She still kind of showed a little bit of sympathy over you, though. Even though she kind of put you on blast, saying that she said she could whoop you if y'all two got in a fight and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, she did right by not being in your videos like that a lot. She did right. You know, again, it was just a rushed in relationship. You two didn't really sit there and take the time to get to know each other. Because like I said, at the beginning, if EDP would have told you before y'all hooked up and met up, had he told you at the very beginning, this all could have been avoided. But you two was better off being friends. But either way, y'all two would have broke y'all friendship up anyway. Because when she would have found out that, you know, like you got busted 2 years ago, EDP, you would have lost contact with her still. So you two would still be mad at each other, whether y'all chose to be friends or not. You two still would be upset with each other because she definitely would not have had nothing to do with you and be like, oh, this guy's a pedo. Don't want to have nothing to do with him. But yeah, people, it's amazing, man. It's a fucking amazing what his ex-girlfriend said about him 2 years ago. I know it felt good that she finally had to get that off her chest. It felt good. But anyway, peace.